Mark Denholm
at breakfast podcast.
Hello and welcome to episode 201 of the Atom Radio Best Bits of Breakfast podcast. This is Mark Denholm from Breakfast, and welcome to the weekend. At least it is the weekend when this is released. You may be listening to it in the week. Either way, welcome to the podcast on the way this week. Best bits from the show, including a stress-relieving breakfast. Also, Eurovision, the sum-up thoughts of Eurovision. We talked about footwear fashion, and I don't necessarily agree with it. We spoke about things that you're not very good at in a display of open honesty, a WhatsApp update that could potentially be abused, AI causing offence, and a signed photo, all in this week's podcast and more.
Mark Denholm
at breakfast podcast.
You are stressed this morning, by the way. Eating bananas, pasta, almonds, grapes, oatmeal, chocolate, watermelon, orange juice, cornflakes and tuna can help relieve stress. That's an almighty breakfast though, isn't it?
This is Mark Denholm
at breakfast.
Atom Radio.
They held a little Eurovision private party at Brown's Mansions on Saturday night, and there they were, all excited, only to see Mae Muller finish second to bottom. And I'm gonna surprise him here. I don't think it's a bad song, her song, if I'm honest. You know, it's not the best song ever, but it certainly isn't the worst, and it certainly, by all accounts, wasn't the worst that was heard on the night. But yeah, that would have slightly dashed Richard's hopes, I have to say, given that she finished second to bottom in the Eurovision, and it was Sweden, the pre-competition favourite, who actually went on to win it.
Mark Denholm
at breakfast podcast.
Do you know, if you wear white trainers, they're out. Clean-cut plimsolls are highly passé, is what I wanted to say. Trendsetters turn to hiking sneakers instead. Well, you set your own trend and I'll follow mine. That way, we're all going to be happy in our own little way. I think that's fair.
Mark Denholm
at breakfast.
This is Atom Radio.
You know how yesterday was chocolate chip day? And I love mint choc chip ice cream. I love chocolate chip cookies and that. I thought yesterday I must get some. Did I? No, I totally forgot.
Mark Denholm at breakfast.
This is Atom Radio.
Let's find out how the top 5 of things that no matter how hard you try, you're not very good at, stack up for this week. At number 5, it's golf. At number 4, baking. And at number 3, it's singing. At number 2, it's multitasking. And at number 1, the top thing that we're not very good at, no matter how hard we try, apparently, is staying awake in the evening rather than falling asleep on the sofa.
Mark Denholm
at breakfast podcast.
I'm absolutely loving this. Announced yesterday, a driver's 80-mile-an-hour police chase ended by a funfair goer, who made a makeshift fence stinger, threw it out, and the car drove over it and then pulled it back in before the police came along. I'm loving that. You know, community policing. Amazing stuff.
Mark Denholm
at breakfast.
This is Atom Radio.
WhatsApp will now let you lock and hide conversations. This is being described as a cheater's paradise, given that you can just hide away the conversations that you don't want your other half to see, should they happen to be having a little snoop around your phone. Now, what I will say is, whilst you can't see what's been said, if you were to look at your other half's phone and you would see conversation with a person named of the opposite sex in their phone, wouldn't you question, why is this hidden, locked away? You would question it, wouldn't you? And then others will use a name of the same sex, won't they? So, you know, they'll hide it away under the name of the same sex. Again, if you see a locked conversation in WhatsApp, you're just going to think, why is that locked? Alarm bells will ring. Trust me, alarm bells will still ring, even if it is locked and hidden away.
Mark Denholm
at breakfast podcast.
Morning, and welcome to Thursday. There's a new AI tool that can apparently tell the age that your face looks just by a selfie. Some people are upset because they feel they don't look as old as the AI feels they do.
This is Mark Denholm
at breakfast.
Atom Radio.
The oldest living creature on Earth. Scientists confirm a jellyfish-like animal called a centenfor roamed the planet 700 million years ago. There you are. Confirmation I am not the oldest living thing on this planet, just in case you were wondering. And obviously not, because I am a mere youthful young man. Don't argue with that, by the way. It's my show, and that's what we'll have, youthful young man.
Mark Denham.
At breakfast.
This is Atom Radio.
I'm just thinking, that Ed Sheeran photo, right, probably going back maybe 10 years or so. Somebody did once ask me, and I thought it was a joke, but they were dead serious, to sign a Slough Jets programme. I wonder if they've still got that or not. You know, I'd imagine it's probably not worth very much at all. In fact, you probably have to pay someone to take it away now.
Mark Denham.
At breakfast. Podcast.
Phone customers spent longer waiting on hold to their provider last year than during the pandemic, Ofcom figures showed yesterday as they released the worst offenders in 2022. Despite the impact of the COVID subsiding, mobile customers still even spent an average of 2 minutes and 23 seconds in a queue, up from 2 minutes and 15 seconds the previous year. Broadband and landline customers waited 2 minutes and 37 seconds on average, compared to 2 minutes and 16 seconds in 2021. Those are quite good. When I've had to phone my broadband provider, I have been on hold for over 30 minutes on occasion. That must mean that some people get answered instantly, if that brings the average back down to 2 minutes and 37 seconds. However, last week I was also speaking to a friend, Susan, from up north. She's a lovely lady, but she does confuse breakfast, lunch and dinner with breakfast, dinner and tea. Tea's a drink, Susan, so I mentioned that. But we were discussing, though, one of the things that's changed since lockdown is the fact that people just aren't generally as sociable as they were before lockdown. So now we know phone customers are spending longer on the phone on hold, trying to get to speak to someone. People aren't as sociable since lockdown.
Mark Denham at breakfast.
This is Atom Radio.
In other news, Liam Payne drops major hint about One Direction reunion and fans are suitably frenzied. I'm not. There's absolutely no frenzy here about that. I am, well, ambivalent to it, I suppose is the word.
Mark Denham.
At breakfast. Podcast.
I think it's fair to say a lot of things have not gone back to what they were before coronavirus, and a lot of those aren't really for the better. Like the work from home thing, a lot of people are saying, I want to work from home. It's up to the employer. They pay your wages, they set your terms and conditions. If you don't like them, then you can leave, but you can't just say, no, I'm staying working from home. I don't get that one, if I'm honest. I genuinely don't. And I'm still wondering now whether that person still has that signed ice hockey program or not. I don't know. Probably not, if I'm honest. I think it may have been a joke. Someone may have put them up to it. Anyway, back Monday, 6 a.m. for The Breakfast Show for another week. You can check it out on atomradio.co.uk, on the online Radio Box app, on TuneIn, also on Streamer. And if you've got a smart speaker, just say the name of your smart speaker and play Atom Radio on TuneIn from 6 a.m. on Monday morning, and you can listen. Thank you, as always, for checking out the podcast. Don't forget, go and subscribe.
Mark Denham.
At breakfast. Podcast.